Sharing versus owning. It's freeing that I don't need to own a car, but I can still drive one whenever I want. I'm not giving anything up, but I'm still riding more sustainably. If I was interested in buying a car, I might be tempted by the Tesla Electric. Andrew Batiuk is one of the first Tesla owners in Edmonton. So Andrew, tell me, why did you decide to buy a Tesla?
Simply, I wanted something that I wasn't going to put gas into. I wanted something that wasn't going to pollute when I drive, but had to have the range to get me around the city and then on trips.
How do you fill up your car?
It's just a plug, so it's no different than a cell phone. I get home every day, I plug it in, takes 2 seconds, and when I get up in the morning, I have a full 400 kilometers of range ready to go.
Have you ever been trapped somewhere in the middle of nowhere without a charge?
I have not, but I did have a really close call with some family going to Vermilion and back, and we got back with 1 kilometer of range, so it was a little bit tight.
So I'm assuming there's no engine?
No, there's no engine. So there's 2 electric motors and a big battery pack, the entire bottom of the car, and it can drive itself.
What's the carbon footprint like?
No emissions, that's fantastic. Still using electricity to power the car, and in Alberta, a lot of that electricity is made by coal-fired power plants. But we have other options as well, solar, wind. I'm hoping to get solar on my house so that when I charge the car, it's totally coming free from the sun.
Do you think this is the future of driving?
I absolutely do. I was at an event this past week and exhibiting this car, and some kids were coming up, and I was letting them actually drive the car through a cell phone app. They can move the car forward and back.
Awesome.
It'll start moving, and then for a safety perspective, if I get behind it, it'll automatically stop.
That's really cool.
So, for a 5 or 10-year-old kid to drive their first real car via remote control and it be electric, I'm hoping that's something they take through their life, and when it's time for them to buy a car, it's a no-brainer to get an electric car.
When I was in Europe, I saw they had charging stations all over. Is that a thing in Canada?
We do have a lot of chargers here in Alberta and Edmonton as well. Libraries have them, shopping centers like Southgate, IKEAs have them all over Canada.
Wow.
Norway in particular, over there, they tax gasoline cars. So it's more economical to buy an electric car in many instances than a even inexpensive here gasoline car becomes quite costly over there.
Do you think we'll get incentives like that in Alberta?
BC and Ontario have in the $10,000 range for incentives. Hopefully down the road, the province sees fit to bring that to Alberta.
I've heard they're pretty expensive.
Yeah, the Model S was a bit of an expensive car, but I bought that knowing that I was helping finance the company, a company that I believe in. They had a goal of selling a much more affordable car, and if no one bought this car, they wouldn't be able to reach that goal. So only a year and a half or so after I bought the car, they've now announced a Model 3. Before they even announced it, before any pictures were shown, they had taken over 100,000 pre-orders, and those numbers keep climbing. I figured at the time, either I spend the money supporting Tesla so that they can have it tomorrow where they have the $35,000 variant, or I spend the money on other things that are just going to be wasted. The money's going to get spent anyway. I figured put it to a good cause.
Awesome. Can I go for a ride?
Absolutely, let's go.
Great. You can follow me online at sustainablemeyag.ca, on Twitter at sustainableme, or on Instagram at sustainable.me. See you there! And if you liked this video, please check out our other videos on YouTube.